Peace and love, family. I'm back again with another video. And this topic that I'm going to be speaking on this evening is really, well, it really hits close to home, and I'm only speaking from experience. And ever since I started making YouTube videos, you know that I've been always very honest about my personal life and everything, because at this point I'm like, I have nothing to hide. I mean, because everybody has something going on. Everybody has secrets that you'll never know about, but I just choose to be open, because I'm like, I don't have nothing to hide. Like, when you look at it, we're all going to transition to the other side one day anyway, so it doesn't even really matter to keep secrets or anything. But the main purpose of me making my videos is because I hope that someone can be inspired or decide to take a different route than what I chose to take, or avoid the mistakes that I've made in life, because it's always a younger person watching. And I think we, as like older people, well, I'm 30 years old, but still, like, if you're like 25 and above, I think that it's our responsibility to like really steer the youth in the right way, or like on the right path, in the right direction. So with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and get started with this video. So the topic is faith again. And the reason why I am speaking on faith again is because, as I mentioned in a previous video not too long ago, that is something that I've always kind of struggled with, because for a long time I felt like I was cursed. I was even told that I was cursed by certain people. And when things go wrong in my life and it's like nothing works out, it's like, man, were they right? Like, maybe I am cursed. But it's like, you don't want to believe that, because if you claim to serve the Most High, can a curse really be stronger than him? But it does get hard. Sometimes it seems like nothing will work for me, no matter how much I try. And it really does make me think. But a lot of the things that we deal with, it is because of like the bloodlines that we come from. Like, if you come from a bloodline where there's witchcraft, you come from like a demonic bloodline where like they had like demonic ancestral altars and things like that. Those deities that your ancestors prayed to, they come back to collect. So thus they'll make your life hard. Like, for example, the enemy knows that my main desire is to like be a wife and be successful. And because the enemy knows I want to be successful and I want to be a wife, that's like the main area that is being blocked in my life. Like, I know how to cook, I know how to clean, I have great hygiene, I know how to please a man, blah, blah, blah. Know how to be a good woman and all of that. Don't sleep around. Only had one sexual partner, but for some reason, I still have no husband. And even when it comes to certain areas in my life, it just seems like certain things are blocked no matter what I do. I do believe that prayer and fasting can break certain quote unquote curses over your life, but it's really going to take like real strong spiritual warfare. So let's get back to the topic of faith. And I know I'm sharing too much information, but I already stated in the video, I have nothing to hide. I'm very open with you guys. So yeah, for someone like me, I do struggle with having faith, because every time something goes wrong, when it seems like it's supernaturally like weird, like, man, like, should this really be going wrong for me? Like, you could just tell like either witchcraft is involved or someone is like placing blockages in your life. Or again, it goes back to what I said about the ancestral bloodlines, like whatever voodoo or witchcraft your ancestors were tied into, unfortunately it falls onto you, the newer generation, because that's just how it is. It is hard to have faith. I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I know you're not going to like it, but many times I have questioned the Most High, with tears in my eyes, because I'm like, I'm 30 years old now. When is my life truly going to get better? When will, things truly take off for me? But then again, it's like you still have to have faith, because also you could compare yourself to someone else's life. Well, it could be worse. You could be homeless. You could have bad health. You know, you could have lost a close loved one. So it also means that there are things to be thankful for. And if you really want to get down into the nitty gritty of it, God really doesn't have to do anything for you. Because ultimately, we were sent here to serve him. We were sent here to please him. You know, now I do try my best to please him. You know, I really do, but I do recognize that I could be spending more time with him. But, you know, I'm very busy with work and, you know, things like that. But, and being a mom to my daughter. But I do feel that it is imperative. It's very important that we do try to make more time for him. We have to. But when it comes to faith, I've admitted that that's something that I'm still working on. Like, if you guys could just look into my life, you would be like, wow, man, how did you make it over? You've been through this, you've been through that. Like, and another thing, you know, it's like, it's not to have a pity party. I don't want anyone to think, oh, she's just making a video complaining. No one feels, of course nobody feels sorry for me, because you have so much other horrible things that's happening in the world right now. Like, what's going on with me is nothing compared to what other people have to deal with on a daily basis. Like, for example, one of my desires is to be a wife. But what if I got married right now and I married the wrong person, or it's the right person, but God hasn't molded that man into the man he's supposed to be for me? So see, things take time, because my brothers and my sisters, do you understand how many people are in marriages right now that they wish they could get out of, but they cannot? So everything happens for a reason. Even if there is a so-called curse on you, still, everything happens for a reason. And also, let's talk about generational curse breakers. I believe I am a generational curse breaker, and I believe that's why it's so freaking hard for me, man. When I tell you, it seems like sometimes nothing works for me. It's like, yo, I don't know. Like, it is really weird, and it, you know, but I don't want to believe that I'm cursed. And even if that is the case, you know, I believe I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. So, but it does make me, you know, question some things. But I believe that my God, that my Father is stronger than any curse that a witch or any ancestral altars can place upon my life. But it is hard, man, and it was very hard for me to come on here and make this video, because I'm giving y'all all of my business right now. These are like very personal, intimate details, but then again, I mean, these things, they must be talked about. They must be talked about, because you have other people just like me going through the same thing, and they're trying to figure out, man, why is my life like why are things so hard for me to like reach, you know? But it is what it is. And it also ties back into life being a test. Like, life is a test. It's not easy here. Again, life is a hell state. Earth is a hell state. So you're going to suffer. You know, unfortunately, it is unfair. You have some people who are born into wealth and they just seem to lead the perfect life. And then you have some people who have to suffer. That's just how it is. That's just how it is, unfortunately. But I don't want anyone younger watching this video to be like me and like question God or anything like that. I mean, it's okay to question him, because that's a part of dialogue. He's your father. You're supposed to have dialogue with him. But you don't have to, you know, doubt him. Because I can admit, I can be honest, I've doubted, you know, like, God, where are you? You know, where are you? You know, it's, I'm trying not to cry, because it's like bringing tears to my eyes right now thinking about it. But he's here, and he wants me to know that he's here. It's just that I have to have faith. You have to have faith. In whatever situation you're going through, you must have faith. You must trust in him. If a witch told you that you're cursed, you have to rebuke that and say, no, I'm not cursed. I'm blessed. I'm better. And I'm going to be who the Most High has ordained me to be. And I want to mention this as well. When you're having questions in life and you're dealing with a lot, don't go running your mouth to other people and looking for answers in other people, because 9 times out of 10, they're happy that you're suffering, or they're happy that you're going through something. And most of the time, these people have their own problems that they're dealing with. And this is something I can speak on because I had to learn this up until recently. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to keep it real. I cannot run to so-called friends and ask for solutions and what do they think about this? What do they think about that? What would they do in a situation? No, it's not going to work no matter what they tell you. The Most High gives the best advice. This is where the intimacy with him comes in. You're supposed to build that one-on-one personal relationship with the Most High, with the Creator, with Allah. You have to do that. There's a lot of things about ourselves that we also have to correct. You know, like complaining. I struggle with the spirit of complaining. I know the Most High doesn't approve of that. He wants me to stop complaining. He wants me to wait and trust on him. And he wants me to serve him the way that I'm supposed to serve him and not be preoccupied with my business or my job or anything like that. I have to make more time for him. Speaking negative, thinking negative. I can admit that I've struggled with that. I live in my head a lot. I had a friend of mine tell me one time, he was like, you live in your head too much. You know, the brother was right. I do. I guess it's because if you come on this planet and you start getting abused at the age of 4 years old, and then you a lot of things, you go through this and that. I don't want to get too detailed into what I've been through growing up, but man, it's like you never catch a break. It's like you always got to go through something. It's hard not to think negative, it's hard, but you really do have to shift your focus. You really do have to shift your mindset, because for one, I found out quick, no one wants to hear you complain. No one cares about your problems. You have to suck it up and you have to deal with it yourself. I cannot keep complaining. I cannot keep thinking negative, because here's the thing. For example, okay, if you're already dealing with a lot in life, what's complaining going to do? What is speaking negative on the situation that's already negative? What is that going to do? Well, if anything, you can at least try to counteract that by speaking positive. So if you're having a bad day, you're just going to say, well, I'm having a bad day. No, you can say, well, you know what? Things are going to get better. And tomorrow the sun is going to shine on my life. I'm going to turn my head and I'm going to bow and pray to the east. And I'm going to ask God to let the sun rise and shine on my life. At least if you're going through something, speak against it. Speak positive. And I had to learn that. Like, I would be having a bad day and just going through something, and I would complain and speak negative. Man, that's not doing nothing. You're feeding that dark energy. You're making it grow stronger. At least try to combat that and speak and speak positive. At least something will change, because you're at least combating that negative energy. So you have to understand, there are spirit beings, the lower entity beings that are around us, and they feed off of fear. They feed off of complaining. They feed off of anxiety. They feed off of negativity. So you have to counteract that by speaking positive. You have to make sure that you are vibrating high. You have to make sure that you're doing that. I really hope that you guys can understand where I'm coming from. And I know some of you won't like how honest I've been, but man, who cares? I'm sure you guys have things in your personal life that you're dealing with and that nobody knows about. I'm just honest enough to get up here and just speak what's going on, because I feel that it could reach somebody, one person at least. I always wanted to be the type to give back in some way, shape, or form. I try to help people when I can, so what's wrong with me making a video, at least trying to make someone realize that they don't have to take the route that I did, being negative and complaining, and just because it seems like nothing is going right in my life, I have to dwell in that energy. No, you don't. Be a warrior. God wants us to be warriors. It's a battle, between good and evil. And that's just how it is in this world that we live in. Life is not easy, but you have to prove that you're worthy. You have to be strong no matter what. You have to be strong. And I just hope that you guys can understand where I'm coming from, and understand that faith is definitely work. The main reason why I made this video is because you'll look on YouTube or you'll watch certain sermons or things like that, and people just talk about faith like it's so easy breezy. No, it ain't, man. Having faith, it really takes work. It really takes work. And I can make this video because I am working on having faith. I am working on having faith. You know, I noticed since I moved up here to Maryland that God is really dealing with me spiritually. I was trying to understand the purpose of this move, but ever since I came up here, it's like, man, he's really dealing with me spiritually. And it's blowing my mind, man. I wonder what kind of woman I'm going to be by the time I leave here. Yeah, by the time I get out of Maryland and go to the next state or next country, I wonder how powerful I'm going to be spiritually, because, man, he has me here and he's dealing with me day in and day out. Peace and love, family.